So let's begin with the front page of the Times, Josh.
Yeah, so there are a lot of stories here, some important news, but I just want to talk about the photo of Eliane Andam, who is the 15-year-old who was stabbed to death. And I just want to get that out of the way because it's incredibly sad. I don't have any hot take, but it's just...
Yeah, it's crazy that, such trivial things are the number one news story when, this is obviously a horrific, it's not just horrific in itself, but it's a sign of, a bigger problem across the UK.
Yeah, you see things like that and it's heartbreaking. Okay, let's move on to some fun stuff. We're all going to be paying lots of taxes.
Yes.
Forever and ever.
Never be reversed. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, we've got the highest taxes since World War II. And essentially, this is quite an interesting thing because a lot of people say, because it's because of COVID and paying for the lockdown and whatnot. But actually, it's because of the baby boomers obviously getting older. And we, this is technically a job, isn't it? Having to then pay for those people retiring. So this is part
when COVID could have sorted that problem out for us.
There we go. And you will disappear.
Yeah, this comes from Richard Hughes from the Office of Budget Responsibility. It does feel like this is where we're going. Even on the right now, there's not much appetite for the Thatcherite politics. There was things like the National Conservatism Conference where it was very much about this sort of economic nationalism on the right. On the left want a kind of big state solution. So do the right now. So is this just what it's going to be like, Leo?
Yeah, I mean, tax is essentially evil and counterproductive. I mean, the idea of paying tax to the state because you think that they're going to spend your money better than you would spend it yourself is ridiculous. I mean, the idea that some disinterested apparatchik with their own wants and needs is going to spend your money better than you'd spend it yourself is nonsense. So we'd have much greater value in the economy if we lessened the tax burden and just let people spend their money themselves.
Okay, libertarian take. Anything more on that? Or do you want to do this multiculturalism one?
Yeah, so obviously Suella Braverman gave a speech in Washington a few days ago and basically saying multiculturalism has failed. Then there's been 2 days of people arguing what multiculturalism technically means versus what most people understand it to mean in common usage. But Rishi Sunak's come out and said that it hasn't failed because he's Prime Minister and his mum is from Leicester. And so that proves...
Yeah, I mean, not very helpful because he's playing into the sort of rhetoric of his opponents, really, because when Suella said multiculturalism has failed, one, she was quoting Merkel, but two, she clearly meant multiculturalism as it's commonly known, meaning cultures that stay distinct within the country and don't really assimilate. Whereas Sunak's now used it to mean the opposite, which has made it very confusing.
Which is what most people argue, use it to be in terms of the sort of the melting pot.
Not what I thought it meant. I was sticking to the actual definition.
Yeah.
What did you think, Leo?
Well, yeah, it's obvious that, we've got, in all European countries, we've got sort of ghettos of cultures that exist in silos, and they've
one's
got,
Germany,
faith schools. No, but I mean, in Germany, they took in so many millions of refugees, and, obviously it's great that, we can offer a safe harbour for refugees, but, if people don't integrate and then take on the values, and the problem is British values are now sneered at and spat on by British people. So, we're not just letting people exist in silos, we're also destroying our own culture.
Yes, good point, very sadly.